What's up, YouTube? Today we're working on the OG piped XC700. So it's been a little while since you guys have seen this sled, and if you're new to the channel, this is my 98 XC700 that I've kind of dressed up to look like a 97 XC700. So I've had this sled since 2016 and have progressively been fixing it up. Little things here and there over time. So basically, like I said, it's a 98 XC700. I have a jump gear, high capacity fuel tank, XCR style seat, custom seat cover. These are CNA XT Snowcross skis. These are the most aggressive ski you can buy from CNA Pros. Unfortunately, yeah, they're kind of darty, along with the rest of the sled. Obviously headlight cover. I used to always run a white windshield and recently put this smoked one on, and I'm actually kind of digging it. I got updated brakes. These are from like a Pro RMK, something like that. Got my dash plate from Shane Jackson. Make sure you get one from him. Pro X handlebars, so they have much less sweep backwards, and this thing is just absolutely disgustingly dirty. Please ignore that. I did go through and paint the hood at one point, all new decals and stuff. I don't even know where to start here under the hood. Basically billet everything, you know, steering post mounts, you know, motor plates, clutch covers. Dropped my phone. Let's try this again. Anyways, like I was saying, just got all the billet stuff on. I got the early SLP twin pipes into glass packs, not a can. This is just a head cover. Basically, I converted this over having a VES cylinders. They have better porting than the old non-VES 700 cylinders and whatnot. So, kind of been testing out these. I need to replace one of these because they don't actually match. One has a vent, one doesn't. So, I'm going to end up swapping one of these out. If I have another one without the vent port deal, I'll put that over there, but if I don't, then I'll put another one with the vent deal, then I'll tie them together and have the vent drop down through the bottom. That's something I gotta do to it. Oh yeah, it does have aftermarket poison reeds with the you know, metal billet reed cages and all that. So you guys haven't seen this sled with this motor configuration. I built this, I never made any videos on it. I went through it and I don't know, it's just another motor I built. Issue I do have, I have a little bit of coolant leak right here at the T-stat housing, which I don't remember if I have a thermostat in this, but you know, whatever. I mean, it's so fresh to the point I still have my oil pump zip tied wide freaking open, because I do that on all my motors when I first fire them up. I just dump the oil to them, right? Yeah, more billet stuff. Got the billet recoil guide and all that. So I don't know. It's just kind of one of those things. This thing has been progressively evolving. And yes, I do know this is destroyed, and that is destroyed because I had an insane belt blowout at about 100 miles an hour. And it just completely destroyed this. I mean, the rivets are ripped out here. It beat up my hood. It bent, basically tore this up right here. It took out some paint. If you look, it actually bent my foot stirrup here. This is all pushed in. Like it is a very, very spectacular belt explosion. So this does need replaced. And yeah, I mean, it just, the belt ripped in, literally ripped in half doing 100+ miles an hour. Yeah, that's the basic breakdown on this thing. Really all I need to do to it today is I want to clean it up. I am going to fix my coolant leak here and figure out my best situation. And after that, throw some fuel in it. This thing should be good to fire up. Oh, and another thing I want to do is these shocks are freaking gnarly, dude. They're the originals. They were on it when I got the sled. They didn't necessarily leak too bad, but they kind of started. And honestly, there's more rust than paint on the body of that shock. So what I'm going to do is come to my little stash of shocks in the garage. I got these really nice looking white body Foxes with dual rate springs and everything in good shape. I don't even have to rebuild these, so pretty pumped about that. But these will be going on this sled. So just more little goodies going on this sled. Yeah. Anyways, I guess I ought to get busy and start working on something, huh? One other thing I would really like to do to the sled is I would like to put these on. Get some more traction up here so your feet don't slide around on the running board as much. And I think those would be a pretty nice little addition to this sled. These will probably land right about there. Yeah, I think that'll be super nice. That way you got a bunch more traction. Anyways, it's little things, right? But first I gotta get these running boards all cleaned up, drill out the holes, throw some rivets in it, you know. You know, for being a running sled, I actually have quite a bit I need to do to this thing. Anyways, here we go. Okay, so I went ahead, found another 700. Best valve does not have the vent, so I'm gonna end up replacing that one that does have it. Just pulled it apart, checking out the bellow. It's looking great. I do need to put a spring in it, so I'm gonna go ahead and steal a spring out of that one, or maybe another one. You got to make sure your springs match, right? So I'm gonna look around until I have a matched set of springs, get this thrown together, put it back on there, and yeah, then we'll have a nice, clean, best looking setup without hoses or anything going across and drop down. So perfect, hell yeah, that's exactly what I was looking for. That is why it's always good to have parts laying around. Okay, went ahead, opened up a gas kit, stole an exhaust valve gasket out of that, and got my vest situation figured out. Got pink springs in them. That's one thing a lot of people forget, is that your vest is a tunable item. You can put different springs in it so your valves open and close at different RPMs, things like that. Pretty cool, something to think about. All right, on to the next thing. I think, I don't know. I'm gonna figure out what I'm gonna do here in a second. Okay, so I went ahead, pulled this apart. No, I do not have a thermostat in it. I did have a gasket. As you can see, I tried siliconing it and stuff. It did not hold. Anyways, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to run a thermostat, which has this little O-ring gasket. Sets right in here. Boom. And then it seals up, right? However, the issue, a lot of times you'll see, is a lot of people will be like, you can't do that because there's no coolant bypass, which came out in 1999. So basically, right in there, there'd be another hose that goes down and recircs to the coolant pump, right? So that way you're not deadheading the coolant pump. However, if you look at your thermostat, make sure it's got a little hole in it. That hole on your thermostat is to ensure that no matter what, some fluid will be able to pass by it and you will not be deadheading your coolant pump. So there you go. Tech tip of the day. No coolant bypass, still safe to use thermostat. All right, gave this little girl a little wipe down. Looking better, looking better. She's looking a little dirty. Now, unfortunately, I do hate cleaning this thing up too much because it does have its imperfections. This first hood, I actually like really painted with the roll paint gun and everything. And some places, like these little pockets, sort of peel. You know, there ain't much I can do about it. And then right there, you can see the original color was red. Got scratched at some point, and it does have its cracks and stuff in the hood, very small ones, but nonetheless, they are there, much more noticeable. Well, they've grown. They weren't that bad when I painted it, but this ain't a show sled, and I got to remind people that, like, I ride the living piss out of this sled on a daily basis when I take this thing out. Like, we're going, okay? And some of the trails get pretty rough. I mean, to the point, the hood doesn't even stay in the side bumpers. So I'll be thrashing this thing to the point that this hood is literally flopping out of the guides. So really, I need to put another set of hood straps on the sides, like some of my other sleds have, just to keep the hood in place. But it is what it is. But for now, hell, she's looking pretty damn good as far as I'm concerned. And the little defects, I'm not too worried about it. It's been years, and this thing owes me nothing as far as looks go. So it's still a looker. People still love looking at this thing, but gotta remember, this is a rider, not a show sled. Anyways, cleaned up, vest done, coolant leak stuff should be done. I'm gonna go ahead and get started on these front shocks because they are more rust than white paint left on the bodies at this point. And to me, even though it's not a show sled, I still want it to look good, right? Plus I want the dual rates. So I'm gonna go ahead and get those swapped out real quick, assuming all these bolts pull out nice and easy. Oh yeah, look at that. Got the first one on. Walking good. Let's go. Time to knock the other side out. Okay, well it's done. I drilled all the holes out, popped some rivets in there. Old XC700. She got some traction now, boss. Woo-wee! I'm gonna be sliding around there this winter. Nah, I should really do something about this bent up thing, but I think I have just the thing in store for this sled. All right, you guys remember, I had this bent to hell guard. I mean, that thing just took a freaking beating. Anyways, got the new one on. A little bit extra because, you know, race sled. Basically, it looks like a stock one, but that stuff on the back there provides protection to all my lines and stuff like that on the inside from the belt breaking. So pretty pumped. Had this thing kicking around for years now, and figured while I'm riveting stuff, might as well get that knocked out too. I also went ahead and threw a new rivet in my pipe mount because I don't know, one disappeared, so it was a little wobbly. So got that knocked out. And yeah, just making really good progress on this thing today, and super pumped with how it's going. And yeah, now I got to swap out that other shock, and I think I'm about good. Then it's just clean it up. I did go through, kind of vacuum it out, get all the leaves out of it and stuff. So don't mind that it's not perfect. Like I always say, this is no show sled. This is a rider, built to ride fast. And okay, Mike, from the group chat, complaining that I never mentioned the group chat or not in my video, so here it is. Mentioned it while working on the XC. Anyways, still making good progress, but while I got the pipes off, I'm gonna go ahead, get that shock swapped out now, and hopefully less talking and more progress, even though I do think we've made outstanding progress so far. I mean, okay guys, 2 tech tips, 1 day. Here's a little trick for you guys when you're swapping out front shocks on one of these old XCs. Some people hate it. I don't care. Just go ahead, cut a hole in here. Unfortunately, my tub's already cracked, so it didn't really matter that I cut a hole in it. But when you're all done, you're just gonna take your tape, put it back over, or if you have fresh tape, which would be ideal, do that. And you'll never even know, obviously, if this is good tape, that you have already cut this. If you're really fancy, you can get little rubber plugs that you can put in there if you cut it out just perfect. But I do this, and then once I remove this upper bolt, I never put it in this way again. I always put the bolt in from this side and then on the back side. That way I get in here with a little impact, and you're done. So just the first time is all it takes. And yeah, you can see that side's already done that way. But anyways, just a little thing, make things a little easier on you. One unfortunate set of events. I just put my rivets in here, and yeah, to keep me from getting my bolt out. Another reason why I always put them the other way. So anyways, I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna drill out this upper rivet, get it knocked out, get that bolt removed, get the shock swapped out, and I'm gonna put a new rivet in my exhaust mount bracket here. All right guys, just like that, we got this other Fox shock, the dual wrench is all bolted up like I was mentioning. I put my bolt in this way, and then already got my rivet put back in. So I'll go ahead and do this number. Get rid of my little piece of plastic. That's what I get for looking at the screen. Pull this out. Boom, boom, she's done. I am gonna give this a quick wipe down. I know I keep saying it's rider, not a show sled, but while I'm here, you might as well. And fuck yeah, dude. I'm actually pretty pumped. I'm excited to get this sled going again. It's been a minute since I really got to ride this one, so yeah. Anyways, new shocks on the front. Let's get this thing cleaned up. Get ready to put these pipes back on. Oh, buddy. A little fresh paint on them pipes. Looking good. Hell yeah. All right. So then one last thing I want to do after my fun explosion of belts, I think it's about time I quit running the mold belts and let's throw a brand new Polaris 1065 belt on this thing. So bam, let's go. Brand new going on. All right, brand new belt is on. Gonna go ahead, toss this on as a spare. Okay, it took a few whacks with the big hammer and some bending with some pliers, but I got this back in shape to where I can actually put a pin back in it. I had to replace pins. The other one was all fucking mangled. But yeah. Whew. Spur belt's on. I actually think this thing's ready to rip. So I guess stay tuned for the next video and we'll take it out riding. But for now, I'm going to start this thing up so you guys can hear it one more time before the end of the video.